1080p was so last year. It's time to move up to 1440p, guys. With a powerful CPU, great graphics card, and brilliant peripherals, this is the ultimate 1440p machine. At just coming under £1,300 or $1,750, it's not what you call cheap, but this is including an operating system, monitor, and keyboard and mouse. So you get all those other reviews, which is like, yes, it's £1,000 for a 1440p PC. But then they exclude the monitor, operating system, and peripherals, which can be up to £500. This includes absolutely everything. You won't need anything more with this. If you get all of this, you're going to have 1440p, 60 plus FPS on max settings with anti-aliasing on all day. Let's kick things off with the CPU, shall we? We have an Intel i5 4690K. Now, this is an unlocked processor, so it means you can do some beastie overclocking. Is at 3.5 GHz, but also can overclock well above 4 GHz. I've seen 4.4, 4.5, 4.6 even for overclocking, so you've got no problem there. It's an LGA 1150 socket, so if you have a motherboard compatible with that, this is what you can use it on. It's reduced from £302 to £100, so just get it, guys. If you're the alternatives of this is if you're going to do a bit more. Let's say you're going to do some more rendering, more hard work. I would upgrade to the i7 4790K. That is £250, so you're looking at another 75 quid. However, could be worth it, but that's a different price bracket. You'll have to beef up a couple of other things. But this is the best for gaming. i5s have always been notoriously good. Even my brother's i5 4460 in his PC runs any game perfectly well with his graphics card, and it keeps up perfectly well. So this will keep up with the graphics card, and it will also be way more powerful enough. In most tests, it actually beats out the i7. So, yeah, 178 quid, you must buy it. Moving on to the CPU cooler, we have the Cooler Master Hype 212 Evo. Sleeve bearing CPU PC cooler. Now, this is 25 quid. If this has over 1,000 reviews, all of them are positive. There's very few which are negative. All these products, I will point out, have more than 4 stars, except from the graphics card, but that's only literally just come out. So, this is the best quality items as well as price. So you have to take that into account, because if you just get, I could save 200 quid and throw in the cheapest motherboard I could find, take away the SSD, put in the cheapest case, put Windows 7 on it, put a cheapest power supply in, and get the cheapest monitor. But no, you have to have stuff of good quality to make it last and worth. It's worth paying a little bit more, and it'll last a lot longer. So this cooler is 25 quid. It will give you a mild to good overclock on your PC. So really, really good cooler. The most popular cooler on Part Picker, with over nearly 1,000 reviews. So that is a brilliant choice, and I would highly recommend it. Moving on to the motherboard, we have an MSI Z97 PC Mate ATX LGA 1150 motherboard. This is down from £100, here we are, £100, £102 to £60, so 41%. If it was full price, I probably would not pay it. I probably would not. But this has Crossfire. It doesn't have SLI, so if you're going to go for a different graphics card, I'll give you a couple of alternatives. I will give you a couple of alternatives for absolutely everything on this, in case you just want to either save a little bit of money here and spend a little bit more. But I'm going to be doing these every single 2-3 times a week, so I would like you to vote in the comment section below which one you want to see next. The two choices are a £500 budget one to beast a console out, or a £2,000 one for 4K gaming. So, onto the motherboard. It has up to 32GB of RAM you can have in it. Crossfire is enabled, so if you want to throw another one of the graphics cards in to even do 4K gaming, you can do that. There's nothing stopping you with that. There's loads of SATA ports, USB 3.0 ports on it. It's just generally a good motherboard for the price. So moving down, we have memory. Memory doesn't really matter too much. I'm not going to say it's cheaper or anything. You can just get the cheapest, but no. Find the most trusted brand and whichever one is cheapest, get that. But for me, at the moment, the cheapest for me is the Corsair. Let's have a look on here. The Corsair Vengeance Pro DDR3 2 8GB kit. It's £4.31 per gig. It's really, really cheap. I don't know if you have it here, but yeah, look there. 1600 megahertz, perfectly fine. You're not 1866 memory, sorry. You're not going to need more than that. Memory speed doesn't really affect it. 1333, or even if you have 3333, there's not a massive difference. So don't really worry about that, guys. Just look at what is your trusted brands, which one is offering the cheapest, and go with that. And at the minute, this is the cheapest. Now, moving down to storage, there are a few options you can do with this. The three options is you could have an SSD like I've got here, which is the Kingston SSD 240GB, down from 170 quid to 65 quid, guys. Just get it. If you really want to go overkill, go up to the 480 gig version for £126 and go completely overkill. But I would probably recommend going with the 64, the 240 gig version, down from 170. Loads of customer reviews, as you can see, most of them are 5-star. Yeah, it's really good bang for the buck. And if you don't want to go for that, then I would probably recommend a 2TB hard drive and 120 gig SSD, or you could take away the SSD altogether and just stick with a 1TB or go up to 2TB like I've done, because I want to save a little bit of money, because SSDs, they don't really mean a lot to me. I don't mind waiting a few extra seconds for things. If you want to go overkill, you can have a Western Digital Caviar Blue 1TB 72 RPM internal hard drive. This is for £105 to £40. My brother has this in his PC, works absolutely fine. If you want to go up to 2GB and take away the SSD, or if you want to go down to 500GB and have a 480GB SSD, you can do that. Storage is really more personal than anything. Some people really love just having tons of speedy SSD. But for me, it doesn't really matter. I have a terabyte hard drive. I don't really need anything else. But if you want to have a 2TB, 4TB, if you want to have a gigabyte of SSDs in there, you can do that. This is the area where it's most flexible. Now, moving down to the video card, which is very controversial at the minute because there are a lot of options. But I've gone with the MSI R9 390X Gaming 8GB edition. Now, I'm going to admit I'm an Nvidia fanboy, but this has nearly exactly the same performance as a GTX 980, but it's nearly £100 cheaper. You can't go wrong with that. And it has an 8GB of RAM. Now, if you wanted to go for a slightly cheaper option, there's a GTX 970, which I have the WindForce edition, because I only do 1080p gaming. But a GTX 970 would also be okay for 1440p, or if you're on the green team and you really must have the power, 980 is okay, but I probably wouldn't recommend as much because the 980 Ti is just superior. But yeah, if you want to go a little bit cheap on the AMD side, you always have the AMD just 390, which is similar to the for the 970, but it's £30 cheaper. So the choice is yours, guys. Now, the case is where things can get, you can change it around. If you have a case that just stands out and you love it, go with it. Not going to judge you or anything, because it's really about personal preference. But I have the white version of this case, and I love it. It's perfect for me. But the black one's also really nice. It's the NZXT CAS 340 case. It's a mid-tower case, fixed ATX and mini ATX boards. Has enough room for 2 graphics cards, loads of PCI, loads of hard drive storage. I think I've got enough room for 4 in mine. The power supply just slots in under here, guys. Literally just slots under here, and your SD mounts are here, your hard drives go up here. Plenty of room for everything. It comes with 2 case fans, which are mounted there and there, as you can see. They are what I'd describe as adequate, but they are a bit loud. But if you really, really want silent gaming, just add 2 120 fans with silence. But for me, I don't really mind it too much, because when you're gaming, you have music on and stuff, so it doesn't really matter too much. But if it's a massive deal to you, you can spend another 20 quid and get some silent fans in there. But for 55 quid with 2 fans in it and a lovely case, and this is all great build quality, I've got it here and it's really nice. Really is nice. 55 quid, you can't really go wrong with it. So moving on to the power supply. Now the power supply is the most overlooked part of a build ever. Don't even argue with me on that. And it's important to go with a brand that you trust. Really is. And go with one that's either bronze or gold. I would have gone with the bronze power supply for 650 watts, but for £5 more you can get the gold certified one. So here it is. It's a EVGA Supernova 650 watt gold modular power supply for PC. This is a really good power supply. Gold rating is basically means it's going to last forever, really. It means that it's with 90% at 150, 92% at 220 to 240 efficiency and higher. And it's got one of the greatest build qualities ever. And for £72 on here, but you can get it at other places for £63. You can't really go wrong with it. So we're going to move down to the operating system, which is just Windows 8.1 at 75 quid. There's not really much else to say about it. It's Windows 8 64-bit. That's really just about it. If you really want to save a few bucks, you can go for Windows 7, but it's only £10 less, so you might as well just go for Windows 8.1. Now, for cat fans, on the case, there are 2 fan slots in the front of the case. So for these, I've got Corsair's 120 Quiet Edition. These spin at 1450 RPM, 23 decibels, and are 3 pins. So you may need to get an adapter to put the 3 pins in. But with if you have these 2 fans either coming in through the front, going through there's a built-in air filter, so it goes in through the front and then gets sucked out the back, or you can have it the other way around. Either one is fine. For £20, you might as well get those extra 2 fans in there. Now, this is where people may disagree with me on this one. This is the BenQ 60Hz 1440p monitor, 4 millisecond input and stuff like that. Now, people are going to argue with me and say, why didn't you get a 144Hz one? Well, the cheapest 144Hz one I could find with 4 stars was £395. No, £495, sorry. I am not willing to spend an extra £250 to get that 144 because most of the time you'll be at 60 FPS to 80 FPS. It's not going to matter too much, guys. So this will be fine, honestly. You will be absolutely fine with this. You won't need anything more than this, and it's a really good monitor. My brother has the 1080p version of it, so yeah. Now, the keyboard and mouse, you really can do what you want. There's not really a lot that you need to add. I've just gone for a £18 keyboard. It's highly rated. You can see it's nothing special, but it's got 4.5 stars, so yeah. And then the mouse, I've gone with the Gigabyte GM M6900. That's actually what I have right here. I absolutely love this mouse. It's perfect. The hand resting position is lovely. The DPI is really good. The scroll wheel, you have those buttons to increase and decrease DPI. The scroll wheel is really nice. Yeah. Personal choice, you can mix up the keyboard and mouse. But yeah, that is it, guys. That is my £1,300 1440p build. Leave in the comment section below whether you want to see a £2,000 4K monitor, 4K build, or would you rather see a £500 build? Something where if you're on a bit of a budget and you have to skint in some corners and you have to get what's best for the buck, what do you go with? They're the 2 options, guys. Well, I hope you've enjoyed. Just remember, this is not just personal choice. This is from reviews and stuff. This is good quality stuff. This has all got high star ratings and things like that. And as I've said, you can change a few things up. If you don't want SSDs, take the SSDs out and put the money somewhere else. If you want an i7 processor, then put an i7 processor in. If you want a better or cheaper motherboard, you can do that. If you want a 144Hz monitor, you can do that. But what I'm saying is this is the best of both worlds, and it is the best for the price. So I hope you've enjoyed, guys, and I will see you very soon with another build guide.